Boys and girls, the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle is available today, and my god, is the secret exotic mission for this scout rifle amazing. Today I'm going to be telling you guys how to get it step by step in the easiest way possible so that you guys can get your hands on this weapon as well, because it's pretty freaking badass. Before I do jump into the video though, if you do happen to enjoy my content at any point in time in this video, do feel free to hit that like button and maybe even subscribe. I would love to get to know you, but you can always change your mind at a later date if you don't want to stick around. But with all the sellout stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into today's guide, and let's go over how to get the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle. Now, first things first, boot up Destiny and load into the Nightfall this week the arms dealer on any difficulty. Once loading in, clear out the first room of ads that you encounter, and then after doing this, a secret door will open up, leading you to a previously unreachable part of the strike. Going through this door and killing the enemies on the other side will grant you an intercepted distress signal. Take this distress signal to Zavala in the tower, and you now have access to the secret exotic mission, Presage. This mission is what's going to give you the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle. Now, go to the Tangled Shore on your map to find the location of the mission, and go ahead and load into it. Follow the exact paths that I take, as this mission is very heavily reliant on puzzle and jumping elements, and you might be able to get yourself lost if you're not careful. At this point, you'll notice that I shoot a spore, giving myself the Egregore Link buff. This will allow me to access portions of the ship that are previously inaccessible, and this will be a reoccurring mechanic inside the mission. Just make sure that you are close enough to the spore whenever you shoot it to get this buff, and you'll be fine. Without it, you won't be able to go through these walls, and you'll be taking immense damage as well. Now, at this point in the mission, not only are you going to be encountering your first enemies, but you're also going to have your first mechanics with levers and fuses. These are heavy mechanics in this mission, so just flip the fuses in the exact order that I do, and shoot the fuses that I do as well. These will end up giving access to multiple doors that were previously locked for whenever you first arrived here. Once gaining access to this area, you'll have to flip the lever to start the encounter. Once started, not only will enemies spawn, but the walls will also close in on you as well. To make it out alive, you and your team must shoot the panels on the floor to destroy the fuses that will open up a secret passage in the floor. Just don't die like I did and you'll be fine. If you do end up wiping, however, you do have multiple chances at this, so don't worry about it. Now, once dropping down into the secret passage, you'll have to fight your way through more enemies, which will eventually lead you to this hangar area. Killing all the enemies in this area will allow you to proceed out into space, and then into the next area. Once in this room, you'll be met with more spore, lever, and fuse mechanics, so just do them in the order that I do them if you want to make it out alive. Once you make it through there, you'll be met with another room featuring enemies, levers, and fuses, and here you'll be able to open up a door back in the main room for you to backtrack to and then enter. Once dropping down here, you're met with a maze that also requires the spore buff to leave. Give yourself the buff and follow the path that I take to make it out of the maze, no problem. Now you're back into the main room that you were a few rooms ago. Go through the newly opened door to find your next set of levers, fuses, and enemies. Proceed through this narrow area, killing all the enemies in sight, and this is going to be the last room that you have to deal with spores, levers, and fuses. To leave this room, you're going to have to shoot the fuse that I do, exposing a second spore buff inside of this room. Go back to the entrance to get the initial spore buff from where you came from, to access the second one as a means to refresh your buff, and then further go deeper into the room to make it out. If you try to use the spore buff at the beginning of the room, trying to go all the way to the end without stopping at the second one, you're not going to have enough time, so you have to stop at the second one to refresh your buff. Once this is done, you are now at the boss fight for this secret mission. The boss fight mechanics are pretty simple. Just damage the boss and kill the ads upon entering the room. After this, the boss will teleport into a room down below that's too hot to access. To access this room, use the panels on the left, right, and middle side of the room that you're already in to cool down the downstairs area, and then you're allowed to drop down and deal damage to the boss. Once you deal enough damage, the room will heat back up again, so come back up to the top, kill the ads, and then repeat the usage of the panels to drop down below and deal more damage until the boss is dead. After it's all said and done, the mission is over and the dead man's tail is yours to keep. Now, this mission right here is accessible as many times as you want to access it. You can come back to it anytime, and you're actually encouraged to for two reasons. Not only do you get a pinnacle every single week per character, but you can also farm out random dead man's tail rolls. Yes, you can actually get random rolls on the scout rifle, and I'll probably be making my own video on the rolls that you might want to be going for, because honestly, at the time of making this video, I have no idea what this thing can roll with. I'm just trying to get you guys to get this weapon in your hands, but you can farm it multiple times. I ended up getting Vorpal weapon on my first run through, and yeah, you're basically incentivized to come back through the mission and try to get yourself a different roll on the weapon. Overall, the weapon is very cool. I will be doing some testing with it and, you know, trying it out in a bunch of different scenarios and throwing videos up on the YouTube channel for you guys to enjoy. But with all that being said, that is it for the guide on how to get this scout rifle. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope it was simple enough and easy to follow. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for any of you guys that are watching at home. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new and you do enjoy my content. Thank you guys so much for watching up until this point, and I'll see you guys next time.